Yes, I'll do that, I said. I'm slowly watching the ground get further and further away as I lay flat on my stomach. I'm dangling at 15 stories high, wrapped into a skydiving, hang gliding, bungee jumping harness. I am overcome with fear, and I can't turn back now, since the only way I have to go is down. I pulled the cord, and it released me straight down, and scary yet really exhilarating, I realized the power of saying yes to things that scare me. That's when I realized that life begins at the end of your comfort zone. Hi, my name is Vivian Torres, and today I will be talking about the growth of going beyond your comfort zone. There are three main areas I want to touch base on. First, my own experience of saying yes to opportunities that stretched me into the unknown. Second, the benefits of saying yes and how that is related to going out of your comfort zone. As for my third point, how this applies into the PR industry. First, let's start with my personal examples that pushed me out of my comfort zone. This past summer, I went to India. I dared to defy my longing for comfort and embrace into the unknown. New culture across the globe, new people I've never met. It was a group of 11 of us. And saying yes to this mission trip to India allowed me to go into the confidence of enduring into the unknown and really trusting God in this. And so basically the main instance that we did in India was we talked and we evangelized. And so going that really got me out of my comfort zone because it wasn't for me anymore. I was going for God's work and for God. And so what I learned in India was I learned things that I would have never otherwise learned. I learned undiscovered passions, and I learned and I appreciated the beauty of this culture and the people. And so I wouldn't have seen my gifts and the undiscoveredness of my new interest if I wouldn't have said yes to this opportunity. As for my second point is this fall I had the privilege of interning at 860 South. It's in Los Angeles and New York. It was way out of my comfort zone. It's embedded in fashion, beauty, and lifestyle. By getting this internship, I definitely got out of my comfort zone by meeting new people. I got into a new environment, a new commute in downtown Los Angeles, which is very scary. If you haven't been there, there's a lot of traffic and a lot of crazy drivers. So these fears started overcoming me, and it was really interesting because after I got the internship, I hadn't started in the office yet, and my boss texted me and she says, "Hey, we're having this event. It's our client, the Culver Hotel, and we're having this big black tie event. You should come." And my first initial reaction was, no, One, I don't know anyone. I don't know any of the girls working there. I don't know anyone attending the ball. This is weird, this is gonna be my first interaction with them. And so, as much as I wanted to say no, I responded, yes, I'll be there. So by me going to this event, it really stretched me, and I got to meet people I would have otherwise have never met. I met editor-in-chiefs of different magazines. I met influencers, bloggers. I met a lot of clients that we actually work with personally that now I go back and I'm like, oh yeah, I met you at that event. And it's been really cool because if it wasn't by me saying yes to this opportunity, I would have never gotten it. And so that leads to my biblical integration and how we are called as Christians, we are called to continually say yes to God and to continually go out of our comfort zones and to have a heart for his heart and to have a heart for his mission. And so The essence of saying yes to God is jumping into action by using your God-given gifts to positively impact other people's lives. Every significant event that ever happened in the Bible, someone had to say yes. So we look at Abraham. God said, hey, sacrifice your one and only son, So Abraham says yes and obeys God. And going into the unknown, Abraham is about to kill his own son when God tells him, okay, stop. You're like an actual follower of me, and you actually trust me, even when things don't make sense. And so then we look at Moses and how God talked to Moses and was like, I need you to build this huge ark and bring animals 2 by 2. And Moses obeyed, and he could have said no. He could have said, no, God, this is out of my comfort zone. I don't want to. But instead, he was like, yes, I'll do it. And so Moses starts building this ark, and then the flood happens. And then we have Esther and Ruth, these biblical women who, Esther, she wanted to be queen, and she didn't know what to do, and she was in a battle whether she should do it and whether she shouldn't, because she didn't. And so she trusted God, and she ended up being a fabulous queen, and Ruth a fabulous woman of God. And so as Christians, we are continually called to say yes, and we are continually pulled out of our comfort zone. And that leads into how this affects the PR industry. And in the PR industry, it's continually evolving, continually changing. And so by saying yes and going into this industry, we are not only serving ourselves, but we're serving our clients. And so we really have, in PR, our interest is people first. And so we really focus on the people, and we focus on meeting their needs and what they need, whether that's learning coding, or whether that's learning how to brand yourself in social media, or whether that is going into various networking events, because that's where you will find your potential client, future business partner, and build and maintain relationships with them. And so in the PR industry, since it's continually evolving, continually changing, we as PR professionals have to continually learn how to be uncomfortable in the comfortableness of it all, and learning how to continually grow and continually to adapt and continue to change in this ever-evolving industry, especially with technology kicking in. We have things like Hootsuite and Meltwater and Facebook and Twitter. And so as PR professionals and as Christians, we not only stand for ourselves, but we continue to say yes to God and say yes to comforts that make us uncomfortable, because in the long run, it will actually make an impact. And I will always remember the experiences that I gained both with India and both in my internship that I currently have, because it definitely did grow me, and it definitely, you learn a lot. And when you say yes to going out of your comfort zone, nothing bad will ever happen when you say yes and you go full force, because God has always provided, and God has always revealed himself. So that concludes my presentation. I will now open the floor to any questions that you may have.